Hello and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. We have two Irish blended whiskeys. They're both aged in X other kind of liquor barrels and wine barrels. Go, go wipe this off real fast. So this is Teeling Small Batch, introduced in 2012. I had seen it around, but I never bought it. It was like $32 or whatever. So I was like, oh, I'll get it one day, I guess. And then, but I just didn't pay any mind to it. And then Mathern's all of a sudden one day had a few bottles of this on the shelf for $14.99. So I bought it, and my friend David was like, I want it. Now I think it's like $38 a bottle. 46% alcohol. So it says a small batch. That doesn't mean a whole lot. Small batch means smaller than the typical batches. They told me this at one of the Sazerac distilleries. Crafted and bottled by Teeling Whiskey Company, Newmarket, Dublin, Ireland. And non-chill filtered. Forgot to put that in my notes. That's right. Non-chill filtered. It's blended at a 3-to-1 ratio. 3 parts grain whiskey, 1 part single malt whiskey, 75 to 25% ratio. Same thing as an American blended whiskey that everybody's familiar with. Seagram 7 Crown. Seagram 7 Crown is a 3-to-1 ratio. Okay. So the most of your flavor in this is going to come from your 25% single malt whiskey. It's aged in ex-bourbon barrels, but then it's all finished together. Now the whiskeys are aged separately in ex-bourbon barrels, and it's all finished together in Central American rum casks. Central American, what country? Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. I don't know. Okay. This was bottled in June of 2019 before the scamdemic. So this is June 2019 bottling. Get fresh bottles today. It's got a real cork. Real cork. Not rubberized stuff. Not pressed together cork, but a real hunk of cork. Which I'm going to moisturize right now. It's getting dry, and those things get dry right enough. I found out the hard way what happens with dry rotted corks. Okay, it's not too nice. So there you go. You say it's nice to see a family-owned whiskey company starting from scratch, struggling to make it, compete in this world, and I agree with that. And if you look at if you check out the website carefully for Teeling, you'll notice that it links you to Bacardi International because it is a brand of Bacardi International, and that tells you where they got all the startup money to get it rolling. All right, but anyway, all right, the Busker, triple cask, triple smooth. I don't find this triple smooth. It's like kind of bitey to me, but that's different perceptions for different people. Metal cap, no cork there. Got this for $10 at Walmart. True story. $10. Can you believe it? It's the truth. They were getting rid of it. Not a good sign, usually. If you check the Royal Oak Distillery website, it says no longer available for tours. This is no longer open to the public. So I thought, uh-oh, that's not a good sign. All right, but anyway, this is not an independent. It's owned by Disaronno. Ilya Disaronno, big liqueur, whiskey, rum company. That's cool, but sometimes they try to make it seem like it's some little craft company, but it ain't usually. Okay, well, we noticed that one is lighter than the other. The Teeling is really light. It's pale hay, like hay, color of straw or hay. And the Busker is not much darker. It's gold, light gold. So do they have coloring added? I get the feeling that they do not, but I don't know. Non-chill filtered for Teeling. Teeling's going to be strong, 46% alcohol versus 40%. How long is Teeling aged? Yeah, they don't put an age statement, so I don't know. I think I saw a video from the website saying 5 to 7 years, something like that. But I'm not going to say because I don't know. Created by Jack Teeling. It says 1792. I'm sorry, 1782. Well, yeah, they did have a Teeling whiskey starting in 1782, but then they went out of business for a long time. And some long since, way down the line, descendants got a new thing started in 2012 and got their distillery open in 2015. Okay. So this looks like black, but it's actually brown. And there's a phoenix rising from the ashes. The old mythological tale of the phoenix. And it's finished a further 6 months maturation in ex-rum barrels from Central America. All right, so 6 month finishing in ex-rum barrels. Teeling, the Busker is this one here. This one here is triple cask. So they use ex-bourbon barrels, just like the Teeling, but they also use ex-sherry wine barrels and ex-marsala casks. So a triple cask, see, triple barrel. Just like the rum, 3 barrels. But that's just a name. I don't think that's aged in 3 different type of barrels. I don't remember seeing anything about that. That Reynal brandy, Reynal triple 3 barrels. All right, but it might be. All right, Reynal, pretty good stuff. But we'll get to that later. All right, here we go. It's mighty cloudy out there, but I don't think it's going to rain. Just an overcast. Yeah, cereal grains. There you go. You got the bread dough section from single malt, and you got the grain, just cereal grains, corn. Yeah, maybe a little wheat. Or I don't think they use rye in Irish whiskey, but they could. It's not illegal, But that kind of thing. And then over here, yeah, but here you get a strange like caramel or like creme brulee that's sugar, right? So then what is rum barrels? Okay, so sugar related. So I'm thinking that's the Teeling with that sugar creme brulee rum thing going on. No, I mean, but let's try it out. Chuz. It's definitely got bread dough and some other interesting little sideline flavors that are almost indistinguishable. Got a little bitey burn to it. You're getting some ethanol. I'm starting to really warm up to the Busker. At first, it got me throwed, as we say. They got me kind of discombobulated. It was like cognitive dissonance. It was like, I want to taste this, but I'm tasting something else. And it's got me estranged, deranged, conformed, non-conformed, just kind of off. But usually if I hate something or sort of hate it, then I'm going to start liking it later. I don't know why. I just start saying, oh, yeah, because it might just be too jarring for me, too much unusualness. Let's go over here. That's got some honey and some sugar sweetness and nectar. It's like honeysuckle nectar. And then there's just like this whole mouth of oak barrels. Mentholated, exasperated, combobulated. Not discombobulated. I'm combobulated now. It is good, and it's oh so very good. Whoa, I think that's 46%. Oh, I think this is the Busker. Now, let's go for a second taste. Oh, the they kind of fight against each other though. They're not so good to follow one after the other. But ooh, that's too strong. That's gotta be the Teeling. Yeah. Now, so the Busker's hard to place the price because everybody got it all over the place. I'm checking prices. They got one place got it for $15, trying to get rid of it. Next place got it for 46. They must be out of their minds. And then you see it commonly be around $32. It seems like that's the kind of normal price for it, which to me is too high. Why would I pay $32 for this when I could get Jameson for $25? The answer is I would not pay the extra $7 to $8. I would just get the Jameson. But be that as it may, I didn't pay the $32 anyway. I told you I got the Busker for $10. And in that case, it is so fine. Now the Teeling, yeah, that's going to cost you now. Total Wine and More, what they got Teeling for going right now? Teeling. Okay, not as bad as I thought. $31.99. Okay, so they kind of price, but I paid $14.99. Like I told you, $14.99. Now the single malt Irish, they're really expensive. Single malt, no grain whiskey. Some people prefer all malt. Whoa, $56.99, so $57. Single grain. Now this one is all grain. It's like separated. Keep it separated. So you got all grain over here, all malt over here, and the mixture in the middle, the blended. And then they have one called, this is new, Teeling Wonders of Wood Single Pot Still Chinkapin Oak Whiskey, $88.99. Ooh. Oh, whoa, double whoa. $88.99, and you only get 700 milliliters. I heard talk that a lot of these whiskey companies are going to go to 700 milliliters. Hey, I'm going to really be after them now on price point and value, because 700 milliliters is no sort of value. That's even less than two regular beers, and that is a rip off. Sorry. So, oh yeah, $31.99. I got it for $14.99. Is that crazy or what? But it's the truth. Daryl Macia says, cheers, Ron. Cheers to you, Daryl. Thanks for watching. Okay, Avion, that was a great tequila. I tried it once, just a sample, but that was the first tequila I ever tried. And I was like, yep, I'm going to start buying tequila now because it was so good. Oh, so very good. I'm starting to come around to the Busker, though. It's starting to get a taste for me. I'm picking up more of the single malt in it. I don't know. At first, I was just getting like a harsh grain experience. But now, some kind of way, maybe because it breathed, air got in it. I don't know, could that be the case? But now it's like, oh, more bread dough. So yeah, I'm starting to become a fan of the Busker. Well, what do you know? Tommy Carroll says, cheers, Louisiana Liquor Reviews. Cheers back to you, Tommy. All right, now, back to the Teeling. I sure hope I have a lot of Teeling left. Well, about half the bottle. I wish it was 80% of the bottle left because that stuff is so fine. That honey, that sugar, that creme brulee, that bready malt. Oh yeah, Teeling, they got it going on. I'm telling you, you say, oh, I'm hurt because I found out they're under Bacardi's ownership. Okay, well, it'll be all right because Bacardi's family owned anyway. If it tastes good, well, 92 proof, a little high for me, but you really cannot take exception to the enjoyment level of it. It's so high. I love it. It's a little, going down your chest, going down into your system. Ooh, it reverberates and that and all of that. But now which one's better? Well, I guess I have to go with the Teeling. I guess I prefer the Teeling. And then considering that it really is about the same price, you got to go with the Teeling. You say no, 46% too strong for me. I gotta deal with an 80 proof, 40%. And a lot of people are like that. 40% is that's high as they want to go. That's the bottom level. You can't go lower than that on whiskey, rum, and gin, stuff like that. You could go lower, but then it's a non-standard product. It's like technically it's not whiskey, it's a whiskey spirit specialty. Okay, well, whatever. Nobody on the street is going to pay any mind to that, all of that. But yeah, you say, oh, yeah, I'm more of a 40% guy. Well, then Teeling would work very well. I mean, the Busker would work very well. Like I say, it took me like what 5 or 6 taste challenges here now, but I am starting to come around to it. And then I know what you're going to say. By the time you start loving it, you're going to be down to the bottom 5%. I know, right? It always happens. Like, oh man, I really love this stuff. Whoop, it's gone. So I have another product from Teeling. And I think that's Kavanaugh. Pretty sure Kavanaugh is a Teeling brand, but they don't put it on the website. And I don't even see a Kavanaugh website. It's supposed to be. Now, somebody said, well, that's a Total Wine and More house brand, a private label. Okay, that's probably true, but then there's a little problem with that because I'm seeing Kavanaugh listed on other people's websites that had nothing to do with Total Wine. I'm like, well, if it's a Total Wine brand, why is Gary Smith Liquors in South Carolina selling it? Why is ABC of Iowa, Iowa Alcohol Beverage Control Board selling it? So it's like, well, how can it be their brand? So I don't know. I don't think that's really the truth. But Kavanaugh, there's quite a number of those, but I have the purple label. And then I'm going to bring in the 2 gingers, which I believe is from Kilbeggan. Yeah, well, it says it on the bottle. What am I saying? Kilbeggan Distillery, which I know nothing about except that I've heard people say good things about it. People say that's a good distillery. And then I might have a few more before we cross the border into Northern Ireland, the British controlled part of Ireland. And then we're going to do, of course, the United Kingdom's most famous Irish whiskey, Bushmills. Bushmills Original and Bushmills Red Label, and then Bushmills Black Label. And I think those are going to make some very interesting taste challenges. And then when we close out Irish whiskey, which will take a couple of weeks because I got things to do that's going to interfere with my taste challenges. That's okay because not bad things to do. And then we'll be off to Scotland and single malt. Yes, I've got a single malt Scottish whiskey that I've never had in my life. This Scotch whiskey is called I can't remember the name of it. Well, it doesn't matter because we're still it's big in the Irish whiskey, but I got a good deal on it. Did get a good deal on it. So it's a Speyside, bready and mild. But let's concentrate on Irish whiskey, and we have a lot of good ones coming up. So thanks everybody, and I'll see y'all later tomorrow morning. In fact, that's the plan tomorrow morning for another Dawn Busters Taste Challenge.